So you love podcasts, and you want to listen to more amazing content, but you have no idea what to listen to. And your friends keep telling you about great episodes, yet you can never remember what they told you. Well, here's the answer. Good Pods. It's the social app dedicated to podcasts where your friends, podcast listeners, and favorite podcast hosts all come together to share on their feeds what they recommend and what they listen to. You can connect to others, bookmark episodes, start a conversation about the episode, connect to the hosts, and most importantly, listen to great podcasts right in the Good Pods app. Download Good Pods wherever you get your apps and start sharing with a community that loves to listen. Good Pods. It's where to connect and listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been to the Great Wall of China. I have seen the pyramids of Egypt. I even witnessed a grown man satisfy a camel. But never in all my years as a sportscaster have I witnessed something as improbable, as impossible as what we've witnessed here today. It's Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Longtime listener and a huge fan.
Lou, I am tremendous.
And the more I unplug from technology and people, the more I can serve people with technology.
What you're standing for with connection, I think it's the key to everything.
You're just an amazing breath of fresh air for sure.
Lou, you're a diamond in the rough, my man.
Because for me, if I'm not living high energy, I'm surviving and I want to be thriving.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
I love it.
Welcome to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have an Italian-Canadian fitness entrepreneur. He's the founder of both the 7-Figure Mastermind and 6-Figure Coach program. Thrive Loud listeners, we are going to be all about no nonsense right now as we connect with Vince Del Monte. Vince, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Lou. How about yourself?
I am spectacular. You and I are chatting here in late 2020, one of the more interesting years on record.
No kidding.
And I checked out your story, and I think our listeners need to hear it because it's pretty impressive. You have managed to take a unique career and turn it into a whole way of thinking and growing a business. Can you share a little bit of just a rewind, not all the way to the womb, Vince.
Yeah.
Just help our listeners know a little bit about who you are and how this all came to be, the thing you're focused on today.
Yeah, it's funny. I've always just tried to figure out, where do I fit in? My father was a pastor for 19 years. So he set a very high bar, if you will, in a great way. See my father minister to over 1,000 people every Sunday. You can imagine the kind of pressure I felt when I graduated university with a kinesiology degree, and I ended up working as a personal trainer at my local YMCA for a whopping $10 an hour. The same gym my dad was working out with his buddies in. So, the question I knew that was coming came, and he said, Vince, are you going to be a personal trainer when you're 35? And he had nothing against personal trainers. In fact, my dad's had personal trainers his whole life, but what he was concerned about was, could I provide for a family? Never mind myself. And that was really where I discovered that I had to make him a believer if I was going to go down this path of fitness, personal trainer. This was a path no one in my family had ever gone down before. Entrepreneurship was a foreign word, wealth creation, all this stuff. These weren't terms used in our home growing up. So I just fell in love with the world of personal training. It became my main interest because, long story short, I was a former distance runner, a very good distance runner. And when I went to university, I lived with all these buff dudes, and I saw the effect muscle had on their life. And, they were the guys that the guys wanted to be around and the girls wanted to be with. And I was like, I wonder if I transfer all my efforts that I'm putting into running into the gym, could I potentially change my body? So my interest into the world of fitness started off with just curiosity. And it kind of continued a few years later when I realized as a personal trainer, even though I started selling and I was writing my own paycheck, and that when I had those opportunities, there wasn't really a future, because, you know, the most you can make is $75K a year. And that's when I realized it wasn't my boss's job to make me rich. That was really something I'd have to take upon myself. And that's when I discovered the world of internet marketing, and a whole new chapter began then.
Okay. So let's pivot to that. And that is, you obviously have an expertise and worked on getting people fit, whether strong or fit, and building muscles. How did you combine these two, and what were you marketing to the customers of the world out there?
Yeah, back in 2006, I saw these guys who were selling ebooks, and I never knew what an ebook was. They had these long form sales pages, like 96 pages long. And I was starting to go down the rabbit hole trying to figure out, do these guys make any money from selling these ebooks? Because they were former skinny guys who became muscular. They had the exact same transformation I did. Lo and behold, I found out that one guy was making $1,000 a day. And I said, that's impossible. There's no way anybody could be making $1,000 a day doing anything. So that's where my mindset was. So I bought some DVDs. Next thing you know, I'm signing up for this coaching program, and I'm launching my own ebook. So what I sold in the beginning days was fitness information products. I was selling to skinny guys who wanted to gain their first 30 plus pounds of muscle drug-free. That was my audience.
Right.
And over a decade, I launched countless muscle building programs, coaching programs, and different, digital programs for the skinny guy on this journey. And my entire business model, Lou, was literally just built around my own personal transformations. Whenever I had a goal, I do it. And then I'd say, hey guys, do you want to learn how I did it? And that became the next product.
I don't want this to fade away in the ether, because I think it's actually real important. You made a great point that entrepreneurship was like a foreign word to your family. But I want to know, because obviously you took your own experiences to, at that point, become the skinny guy savior and help skinny guys put on the muscle they needed. You did that through the work that you did as a personal trainer. What did you take from having your dad as a pastor and that experience growing up? What got injected, or what was kind of maybe underlined into the way that you thought about taking your business there? Because there's always something you pull from where you came from.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw my dad, he was selling the best product of all. He was selling salvation. I'm teaching guys how to build their biceps, and, he's teaching, men and women how to save their marriages. And what what we were both selling, at the end of the day, is hope. I think if you just, boil it down, he was selling, hope, a bigger and a better, more abundant future. And same thing I was doing in the gym. I was selling a better future. I was selling a trade up. So I was really just fascinated with transformation and, leaving the old and embracing the new, and the painful process that is. And, now we see everybody wanting these transformations overnight these days with social media, and that, everyone wants to experience their full potential, but they don't want to go through the painful process that brings that about. So I think that's what everything's been rooted in. And, reframing these, we talk about this year being crazy, but looking back on this year, a lot of people would have a hard time seeing this as a positive year. But if we really look at, these challenges and these confrontations we've had to go through, these frustrations, this fighting, this fear, if we frame it as, hey, these were all things set up for us to transform, we can look at it from a different lens. We can become that person we want to be. So I think what I love doing is helping people really reframe the negative as a positive, and from that, getting the results they're looking for.
So it's one thing to do it for yourself, which is the business that you created and helped to create this program there. You then did something really smart, which you said, oh, well, how can we amplify this to the next level? And you're now helping other people do that. Can you share at least how you're now rolled over the work that you've done and now are helping others do the same?
Yeah. And that, I think, is why our coaching program's been growing so quickly. It all happened organically. It was like never the master plan to have an online business. It was never the master plan to have a coaching program one day. After you do this for, it was, I believe, 12, 13 years, a lot of people sought me out and just asked me, hey, how'd you build your YouTube channel? Hey, do you teach this? Do you coach this? And having done it for 12, 13 years and having, I think I had 2 kids by then, I really was ready for a reinvention. I really was ready to start, teaching what I'd done. You can only teach so many videos on how to do squats versus leg extensions. So I 3 years ago, I went all in. I had a couple very profitable online fitness businesses. So it was scary to let go of something that was familiar, something that was comfortable, to start something completely brand new from scratch. And this is what I've been doing for 3 years, helping online fitness trainers go online and either start, grow, or scale. And my vision for them isn't just to make more, work less. That's been said, it's just so shallow. Come on, that's a perk for sure. But what I really want them to embrace is what my mentors helped me with, which is becoming a leader, and a leader that's impacting transformations. And I think this is the opportunity for all trainers out there right now, and anybody in the fitness space. People really are looking for people who are rising above this constant fear and frustration and fighting of the world right now.
Well, let's dive there. I want to go down this, because one of the biggest transformations that happened in 2020 was gyms were shut down in most of North America, and people couldn't actually go to their personal trainer. And a lot of very inventive, or maybe those that were ahead of the curve, personal trainers and whatnot, brought their services online for whether YouTube classes, Facebook groups, their own online courses that people would sign up for. And whether from bar classes to fitness classes and whatnot, obviously that, which is growing tremendously, because you're right, we're probably still in this world for the first few months of 2021 for certain.
Yeah.
And who knows where it goes from there. Can you talk about, though, I think that's been an explosion. I could tell you personally, I got a Peloton bike in the beginning of COVID, and it's been the savior for me just to be able to connect with that. Talk about what you're seeing from your seat, having been in this space for a while, in a year where that transformation has kind of been the wake-up call for a lot of other trainers like yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to look at the year of, was this the year of fear for you, or was this the year of favor?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for people that have recognized that, no matter what's going on, no matter what opinion you have on this whole situation, all this stuff going on, I mean, nobody stripped away your freedom to focus.
Right.
And I think focus is what you focus on grows. So if you focus on frustration, guess what? You'll go find a lot of frustrating conversations. If you're focusing on fear, guess what? There's no shortage of stuff out there to just stay really, to be honest, scared out of your mind. And then finally, if you're focused on fighting and making a stand instead of just sitting and looking at what's going around you, looking at what's going on around you as an opportunity, you could really miss the boat here. So this year, I think the opportunity is for trainers to really see this as a blessing and not as a curse. Yeah. And the truth of the matter is like you said, Lou, millions of people have lost their gym memberships and are looking for new solutions. Fitness isn't going anywhere. And what's interesting is, our students are thriving right now. It's like, if you didn't watch the news, you would have no idea what's going on in the world. Our students are thriving. It's truly unbelievable when you simply become a leader and you offer solutions to people's problems, because I mean, there's no good information on the news. You can count on that. It's all fear-based, vaccine, mask. It's like, well, what about, let's look at some healthy solutions that will protect you and prepare you for all this.
Vince, this episode's coming out beginning of 2021 here. What are your personal goals for your business and your brand? What's coming down the pike? And how, because we do recognize, I wanted to throw this in there, that we're starting to get back. There is a vaccine, to your point. Things will start to alleviate. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. How's that's going to bleed into what your year looks like for the business that you focus on?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually just did our 90-day planning. So this is a good time you asked me this question. We keep things very simple, Lou. I believe simple scales and advanced breaks. So we have one goal, and it's to enroll 40 new members every month for the next 3 months. And we're going to do that by just continuing to streamline our members area to make it clear on how members can succeed. I've found that if the heartbeat of your coaching programs are your students succeeding, word spreads. And we really are just coming around our students and supporting them like nothing else. And we're going to continue to gain recognition. One of my personal goals is to revamp my YouTube channel. It's been dead. People like, how's this guy got 400,000 subscribers and he's only getting 1,000 views? Well, because I haven't posted
we just solved
videos
that. Hold on,
years.
Vince. We solved that problem. We solved it because you came on Thrive Loud. We targeted people and directed them here. It's all going to come back now. Don't worry. We fixed that problem. You and I did that.
Thank you, man. You're awesome, brother. But that's one of our focuses, and expanding our team. I think there's 3 things I focus on. It's better content marketing. And it's like really simple stuff, optimizing our sales process, specifically the follow-up process, and me elevating my prestige. And I'm looking to, align with more guys like you, Lou, and just get on more platforms and just really reach further. So I've got a team now that allows me to, my COO said to me, I said, what's my job this year, Dave? And he goes, I just need you in front of the camera more this year. I'm like, that's awesome. Really?
People need to know. We will show this in the podcast artwork. He's awesome, and he's also just sporting one really sharp beard right now, which just got recently groomed. So he's looking good. Yeah. So Vince, I love asking this question, and I'm really interested in asking this question to somebody who is focused on fitness in their career. You've managed to change your career, your life over these years, build it into a thriving business, which is great because on the whole, you're thriving most days. But like everybody else, we all have days that are not quite so great, where we're not quite kicking us on all cylinders. Vince, when you have trouble thriving, who or what practice do you seek to get yourself back on the thriving track?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I'd be honest, I'd be lying, sorry, if I just said, all I do is just, pray and I, just look at everything positively. I mean, it's really, really tempting these days to go back to what's familiar. And, that's where you're comfortable, right? Staying in that spot. Mm-hmm. I think one thing I do is I run to the people I trust and not from them. I've got some great team members on my team who are older than me, who've been in the industry longer than me. And I'm very, very blessed to just get their insights on things. So I think I'm trying to do more listening. I'm trying to do more sitting than standing. And also, I just have to trust. I think that's the one thing I'm trying to do more, like just trust. Like every time there's been something that I haven't been sure about, it's always worked out and always worked out better. So trusting that, God's hand is on my life and he's going to finish what he started. He's got a plan and I have to take massive action and trust the prompts and all that and keep, doing the things that I can do, but also at the same time, I've got faith and I've got trust. So I think it's just a reassurance of like what's happened in the past. Everything's worked out. So everything's going to work out as long as I keep moving forward and, not try and control. I think that's the biggest temptation for me specifically. Something one of my pastors said recently, which was really helpful. He said, you can have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both. And that really struck me. So trying to let go more so I can go up.
I like it. By the way, I'm laughing like you're trying to sit more than you can stand. I'm letting you know that my watch is trying to get me to stand more than I can sit.
No kidding.
Vince, let's do this. Let's share with the listeners all the places people can find you, websites, social media, URL, that YouTube page, which we are all sending everybody to. We will put it all in the show notes, but they always gets more engagement because some of them are driving and they need to hear it.
Yeah, I'll keep it super simple, Lou. So people can find me on Instagram. They'll see my blue verified account. There's a couple jokesters pretending they're me. Just so look for @VinceDelmonte. And I a podcast as well, the Vince Del Monte podcast show. I would say those are the 2 best spots to connect with me.
I like it. For the record, it's awesome because he does have the blue star and he's got like almost like 79,000 plus followers. He's just a popular dude.
We're trying. Yeah.
I'm
trying to be permanent, not popular. That's what one of my wise mentors recently told me. And I'm actually part of a mastermind with some super smart guys, and we meet up once a month. There's just 4 or 5 of us. It's actually guys from the $100 million mastermind that Dan and Joel started. And that's also who I go to, like for just advice. Like, hey guys, how are you guys handling all this right now? What do you guys do to manage this? Are you guys experiencing this as well? So I think that's just to get reassurance that you're not alone is probably one of the biggest things to get through tough times. I wanted to add that because or else you suffer. And my definition of suffering is believing that you're all by yourself.
That's great. And very on point. I like it. Vince, permission to go down Fun Street with me here on Thrive Loud.
Okay, it depends, Lou. Where are we going?
I love making real big guys scared. It makes me, muscular guys, but you used to be a skinny guy. So we know that, at heart there,
deep down, where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be the skinny guy. I'm not so sure I want to, the muscle just wouldn't fit on me. I wouldn't know where to put it, but anyway, or some of it. My wife would have other words. Okay. So what I love to first start this conversation about Fun Street with is, can you share with the listeners your all-time favorite movie?
Yeah, it's got to be a mafia movie. My dad grew me up, if you can believe that. A Christian pastor let his son watch the mafia movie, so I'm not easily offended. You could put it that way. The Goodfellas. I love Goodfellas. I just love how much they value family, but then at the same time, I love how they try to attain power through a combination of fear and love, and that's always been an interesting thing to watch.
That's a great way to break that down. That's awesome. I always have trouble when I watch that movie because I grew up in an area of New York very close to Howard Beach. I grew up in Rockaway Beach, which was really close and actually overlapped with some aspects of the story. So when I see it, I have more of those sentimental things of where they are in certain places.
Got it.
But that is spectacular, let alone any Scorsese movie with De Niro, Pesci, and Ray Liotta is a rock star movie. You can't go wrong. So I love it. Okay. Here's how we deal with the speed round of Fun Street, Vince. I'm going to ask you something, and I want the first thing to come to your mind, thing that makes you feel good, that lifts you up, that makes you thrive. Ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
Okay. A song that you love to hear or that pumps you up.
Okay. It's called Champion by Bethel. It's pretty awesome.
All right. A favorite food that's not a dessert.
Oh man, I ate too much pizza.
A favorite dessert.
Oh, apple fritters.
Ooh. An activity you wish you did more of.
I gotta start running again, but I also want to start skiing with the kids.
Oh, I like that. An activity you wish you did less of.
Scrolling on social media.
If you could snap your fingers and go anywhere in the world, Vince, where are you?
Yeah, we'd be in Italy, the whole family. I don't know what's going on there right now.
I know. Which part of Italy do you like?
Yeah,
I love
Italy. We would go down south to Calabria.
Ah, very nice. Excellent. Vince Del Monte, truly a pleasure to have you on here. Inspiring what you're doing. Continue the growth, man. I love how you've managed to make who you are and your fitness thing, not only your business, but help others figure out how to do it and grow from there. Pretty impressive stuff. Let alone, this is by far the first we've had an Italian Canadian on the show. I'm very excited about that aspect of it alone.
Oh, thank you. Lou, you're the best, Lou. Thank you.
Totally. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.